What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on some of the latest updates, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 6.25% pre-market. I know that sounds horrific, but that's kind of normal today. That's happening across the board. Even over here, you have a lot of the major indexes all very red. Dow's down 2.68, S&P 3.4, NASDAQ 3.76. So today is just a bloodbath, and a lot of that is stemming from this. So a lot of the tariffs that were announced yesterday, I believe a lot of these are going to be implemented on April the 5th, but one thing that the market's really going to be watching for today is retaliation from these countries. And if so, then you will be starting to see a lot of doom and gloom analysts correlate a lot of this to similar scenarios that played out in the 30s, dirty 30s. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting scenario. As a positive of this, though, you do see the likelihood of a rate cut for the May and June meetings to go up. And the reasoning is not because of negative data or anything, rather to avoid a recession now. So that's maybe a positive out of all of this, but nonetheless, though, I just wanted to bring up that just to fully clarify. I know a lot of individuals sometimes don't understand tariffs and want to know why Lucid is going down. It's not like their products are tariffed or whatever, but it is consumers' buying power. Indirectly, it does trickle down to the consumers, and their buying power does diminish. So meaning they won't be out there buying Lucids. They won't be buying X, whatever it is out there. So that's kind of the basis of that. But aside from that, though, there's a couple of things that did come out yesterday. So I brought up one point, and that was this right here. So the 1 billion convertible note. So in my opinion, I did not bring up this capped call transaction. So I was a little bit more doom and gloom on this. So that is completely my fault. So 1 billion, which of course, I'm not here to spin it saying that it's a positive about this 1 billion note, but with this cap call transaction, that does really limit the amount of dilution that does follow this. So it's kind of a good thing. And at the same time, they're not using the funding from this to repurchase outstanding 2025 or 2026 notes. And I believe that's coming due September for that. But still, these ones right here, the 2026 notes, do not have this capped call transaction. So the fact that they are buying these back is going to limit the amount of dilution. So out of everything, that's kind of a positive. This, they are going to be using actual cash, so it doesn't state that they're going to be using the proceeds from that now 2030 note, so just be kind of aware of that. But I think all in all, this is a pretty good piece of news if you ask me, and it's a very low rate, 1.25% I believe, so that's kind of good. But aside from that, though, they also did bring up this, so the Q1 production and delivery numbers. In my opinion, I feel like they just put them out together just to soften the blow, because I think the market would really react negatively towards this convertible note. But aside from that, though, based on this, so the Q1 actual numbers are 2,200 for the most part, so 2,212 vehicles produced, plus over 600 additional vehicles in transit to Saudi Arabia for final assembly, and then the company delivered 3,109. So clearly the promotions worked. You had this nice push as well. Clearly, I'm sure a lot of these actual deliveries were leases, while people can take advantage of that $7,500 tax credit before Trump unfortunately got rid of that. So there was probably that nice push kind of in January-ish and maybe early February. But nonetheless, though, I feel like these numbers are very good. And you can only imagine that how easily they'll be able to hit their target. So this is good. It's just really bad timing as per usual. I think like almost a good 60-70% of the time Lucid puts out good news, the market is tanking for some various reason. And I don't know why. It's just rather comical timing how all that does play out. But aside from that, there was one additional thing that did come out that isn't all that great. And you know, I'm not here to shove rainbows up your guys' asses or anything. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm just laying it out, good, bad, and the ugly. And so based on this, they did give estimates for their revenue for Q1. Of course, this is just estimates by them, not official. Cash and cash equivalents and long term. So these ones, it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Rather, the revenue. So they are citing between 232 to 236 million. So based on what analysts are assuming, they felt for the Q1 it was going to be roughly around 250. So that is lower than this. So essentially the market is going to really push Lucid down a little bit because of this, by them really reducing the amount of revenue. So not the best, but then again, last time they did this, for those of you that remember, I think it was a couple of quarters ago when they did cite that they were going to do like 200 to 205 million in revenue. They actually did, I think it was like 220, 230. So again, all of this is complete estimates, so just take all that with a grain of salt, of course. But aside from all that fun stuff though, let's go over shorts. So this is SoundHound, you guys don't need that. Shorts aren't doing all that much. 23.29% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 282.99 million shares. Regardless of the circumstances in the broader market, market's rallying, market is tanking, shorts increase. So anticipate that to happen, maybe for them to get back to kind of that 30% range as what it was like at the mid 2024 point. So just kind of watch for that. Aside from all that fun stuff though, just go over this. So with it right now at $2.25, it is trading right below this S1. So 226 and then 236 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. 220 and then 209 will be the following support levels. So I think just the broader market's going to have a difficult time all in all. But if you do believe in Lucid bigger picture, take advantage of these prices or any other stock, mind you, because today is going to be a little bit of a fire sale, if that makes sense. But based on the numbers, I would anticipate as well some new ratings to come out today. So same as yesterday, if there is some big developments that happens throughout the trading day, I'll do a PM video just to go over like whatever updates. The only other thing actually I did want to bring up was this. So for those individuals that think that Saudi Arabia is just not really interested in Lucid, so this shows the procession of His Highness, my master, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, if I'm saying that right. So you see just a lot of random vehicles. On the side note, you see Lucid in the background for that police version or kind of whatever. But you see a couple just in clearly the lineup right here. And so one right here just passes by. The cameraman clearly focuses on the one that is coming down right over after the police, I believe. So yeah, nonetheless, like Lucid's like up there, and there's another one. So, or a couple more. So yeah, honestly, Lucid is definitely up there, and I think it's seen as highly sophisticated. It's a luxury product, and honestly, like, people love it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying the dip today? Are you selling? What's your kind of takeaway from a lot of the recent news? So deliveries, I think, are good. They're getting rid of inventory, always a positive thing. This one, initially, my first thought was very negative, but with this cap call transaction, that does limit the amount of dilution. So essentially, it's just kind of a very cheap loan, 1.25%. Very advantageous. This one right here, it's not all that great, the revenue, but then again, Lucid has surprised us in the past, so take all this with a grain of salt, of course. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.